us and to welcome you all and wish you a happy Earth Day. Mayor Halley, how are you, sir?
Good morning. Yes, it is a beautiful day here in Monroe County, and it's going to be a beautiful Earth Day. And I think you've put together a wonderful show of education. The Guy Harvey Foundation, this is amazing what we can bring to people all over the world, all different spots. It is going to be just fabulous, and it's really never been done like this before. So we can't be more happy to be a part of it.
Mayor Halley, thank you so much and for joining us, and also for your leadership. You play such a great role here also with the college, the Florida Keys Community College, and I know how passionate you're about education. And this gentleman next to us is really a hero of all of ours, Jan Koblik. He is a pioneer of saturation diving. His foundation has been around 50 years, 35 years with curriculum, inspiring kids. And behind us on these boats, we're right on the NOAA Marine Sanctuaries at Marine Lab in Key Largo. And each year, Mr. Koblik and his crew, this team brings about 5,000 kids a year out to the reefs and snorkel, and it's all about science and getting these kids excited. Mr. Koblik, you know what a fan we are, all of us, of you and the work you've done. Tell us about Marine Lab and what we're going to be doing, teaching, training the teachers, and also the kids with the experience. What's about to go on, and people are going to see some of it right now.
We have, as you said, about 5,000 kids a year. Over the
5,000! Wow.
35 years, we've reached about 160,000.
Yeah.
But now I see we can reach 160 million. And that's the exciting part about this.
Go, Dr. Harvey. All right.
We train the teachers. And
look at those kids back there. Hey, kids. All right, man. Go, students. All right. Go ahead.
We have students from all over the country. Even during this very serious period. And we're excited to be expanding, doing virtual programs. Yeah. We've had a great relationship with NASA. Here we are talking to the Endeavor.
In his underwater habitat, which is about 100 yards away.
The underwater hotel.
Yeah.
And talking about the relationship between space and the ocean, how the sea and the space are really one.
Totally interconnected, yeah. So a lot of the astronauts and the training and the relationship you have with NASA and NOAA working together, aquanauts, astronauts, all one cool, amazing group of adventurers, thanks to you. And you pioneered a lot of that. So these pictures you're seeing with Jan's programs, the students actually go out there. It's hands-on science. They're on the boats. They're snorkeling. They're sampling. They're working with these amazing teachers and educators. Jan, we just got to thank you for all you've done. You inspire so many kids and you've changed so many lives. You are a superhero of mine and everybody at the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation. And Dr. Harvey is really excited about the collaboration with you and your team. So Dr. Harvey, as usual, is out on a boat doing great stuff today. He's in the Caymans, but he wanted to do a personal shout out and thank everybody and welcome everybody for Earth Day today. So we have a little video. It's being uploaded from the Caymans, so it might be a little bit choppy, but Dr. Harvey wanted to say hi. And then we have his amazing daughter, Jessica.
All aboard. Let the exploration begin.
We're rolling the video. All right. And we'll also put a link to the video at the bottom here. So all of you can actually watch it real time here. We'll play it for you.
Everyone, I'm Guy Harvey, and I'm really thrilled to welcome you all today to our live feed from the bottom of the ocean as we explore the amazing underwater world together with our wonderful friends at the Schmidt Ocean Institute aboard the research vessel Falco in Australia on the Ashmore Reef. This incredible adventure is just part of our new STEAM educational initiative that we are currently launching. We have already begun piloting with our partners in Florida schools. These include many incredible students, some of whom you are about to personally meet, as they are going to be featured on this live Earth Day program shortly. We'd also like to thank all of our amazing educational partners and sponsors in this project. Some of these include Marine Lab and NOAA, who work every day to teach and inspire students and teachers in the incredible Florida Keys, literally on the doorstep of the NOAA Marine Sanctuaries. Other sponsors include Discovery Education, the Department of Education, Florida Virtual School, Mission Resolve Foundation, Ocean First Education, and many, many more. I am sure you're going to have an amazing adventure today with our team, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all aboard. Let the exploration begin.
All right, Dr. Harvey. So most of you know, and we're always inspired by the incredible 30 years Dr. Harvey has been inspiring us all with his artwork and his passion and love for the ocean. And he happens to have an amazing daughter, Jessica, that a lot of you may have seen on her adventures. Jessica is joining us now with some incredible students from the Cayman Islands. Can we let Jess come in and say hi? And Jess is going to help introduce some very special people that are going to take us on a deep adventure today. And here comes Jezebel. Jess is in the Caymans. We did a little test this morning. Jess, can you see us okay? Location, island data. All right. Well, I think if we're waiting for Jess, we can jump to Carly. So there we go. Jess, how are you with your amazing students?
Yes, you made it. Hey guys, I'm so sorry. We had the computer was so excited about the amazing stuff you just talked about, it couldn't handle it. So welcome everyone. I'm here in the Cayman Islands in the Guy Harvey Gallery and Shop. I have the most amazing group of people with me. We've got Miss Amanda Brown from the Cayman International School, who is an amazing ocean ambassador as well and has helped us out at the foundation a lot. And then we have head boy at the Prospect Primary School, Mr. Lance, and we have in the back, we have Jack and Rain from John Gray High School. Say hi, everybody. And am I missing anybody? And we've got parents here. We've got a good group of people. We were so excited that we were trying to fit as many people as we can. But this is an amazing opportunity. We are so excited to be here. Apologies in advance if the connection does cut out, but we are able to be like this because we're COVID free. So we're wishing everybody well, and we know that everyone is going through a tough time. But I'm glad that we are able to all collaborate together on this amazing opportunity. So I'm the project manager for the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation. I've from Jamaica originally. Oh, right. There we go. And I spend a lot of my time underwater if I can. We do a lot of research and educational outreach on the marine environment because it is so important, and we rely on it for our own survival as well as to provide beauty to our Earth. And happy Earth Day, everybody. This is a celebration, but also to be able to give you some more opportunities to see what amazing adventures there are out there. And we are so grateful for the Schmidt Ocean Institute and everybody involved for letting us be a part of this. And so without further ado, unless I'm missing anything, Ms. Pashi, I would like to introduce the wonderful Dr. Carly Weiner, who is going to tell us more about this amazing project. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much, Jessica. It is such a special connection for us today to be here with you and Guy and the entire team, and to have you join us with research vessel Falkor as we are live on Ashmore Reef in Australia. Our science team aboard the ship right now is exploring some of the deep reefs in this region and making really cool discoveries. This is the last expedition actually that we're doing in Australia, so it's really special to us. And we've been in Australia for over a year doing all kinds of amazing exploration of deep waters that haven't been looked at before. And you know what? When you look in the ocean at places that haven't been seen, you find really cool stuff. Among them, in the last year, we found a 100-foot siphonophore, thought to be the world's longest creature, a new coral reef standing 500 meters tall, that's taller than the Empire State Building or the Eiffel Tower. Wow. Species, and a rare video recording of a ram's horn squid. And if you don't know what that is, you should absolutely look it up. But before I tell you any more, I want to jump to the Falkor itself, because this is where the cool science is taking place. And we are going to get to talk to one of Schmidt Ocean Institute's amazing ROV pilots, J-Rod. Now, J-Rod, his position is to fly our underwater robot, Sebastian. This vehicle is key to allowing us to see what is happening in the deeper depths of the ocean, places that humans can't get to with scuba gear. So please help me welcome J-Rod, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about the vehicle. Welcome, J-Rod!
Hello. Hey. Hi, I'm Jason Rodriguez. I'm one of the ROV pilots, like Carly said. I've been with SOI for 4 years, and I've been operating ROVs like this for 10 years. This is Sebastian. Sebastian is a 4,500 meter rated ROV. Go down to most ocean depths. There, of course, are deeper oceans, but we can manage most of them. We are able to do this by sending 45,000 volt or 4,500 volts down this umbilical, and it comes down and it gets converted into 110, 240 volts AC, and it also uses 5 fiber optic cables to be able to convert all the digital signals from Sebastian to come back up topside so we can give it controls, and most importantly, our camera feeds, so we can get all the great images that we get using the 9 different cameras that we have surrounded all over the place in strategic places for obstacle avoidance. This camera right here is our 4K camera, which does all of our highlight videos. We use another 1080p camera that is mainly for our situational awareness for the pilots. And then again, the other ones are strategically placed all over the place. We also have a whole bunch of lights on board, and Cody will turn on all the lights for y'all right now. She's capable of putting out 500,000 lumens. When we're working down deep, there's no light down there. This cruise is called the Twilight Cruise, so there is a little bit of ambient light. But when we go deeper than that, we have to make all the light to be able to get the stunning images that we get. Sebastian has 2 arms. They're 7 function manipulators. Each one of them have the power to be able to hold 250 pounds at all directions and deadlift 1,000 pounds. They also have the finesse to be able to hold the egg without breaking it. We use the arms to get the different samples for the scientist using different methods. We'll either put them inside these coral quivers for the small samples that need to be separated from all the other ones so that the DNA doesn't get mixed up, or we have the bigger biology boxes that we can put big samples, rocks, and whatever else that does not fit inside of these. We also have a suction sampler. It's like a subsea vacuum cleaner. What's interesting about it is it comes up this tube and it comes into a carousel over here, and we have 8 different chambers that we can capture anything that swims or sediment, have filters in there so that we can decide how big of a particle it is that we want to capture. Sebastian uses 5 different thrusters to be able to move around. She has a capability of being able to operate within 2 knots of current, which been pushing the limits here in Ashmore Reef sometimes, but for the most part, she can handle it all.
That's
Any other
amazing to hear, Rod.
questions?
It's great to see Sebastian out there, and you've been able to do such cool things. I think we need to ask some questions now. I mean, you've done such a great job explaining. Jessica, do you want to reach us out to some of the students that are here with us today?
Absolutely. That was so amazing. We were all absolutely flabbergasted at how delicate such a huge machine can be and what it can do. Right, guys? Yeah. All right. So we have Lance with our first question. So go for it right here. You're going to have to speak loud and clear for everybody to hear.
So how does the ROV Sebastian work? And how does it send video from the ocean bottom?
Very good.
So Sebastian works by using multiple different computers, both subsea and topside, and they're connected via fiber optics through that cable that I explained earlier. And with those, inside the Falcor, we have a joystick just like a normal plane console would have, and touchscreens to be able to turn all the different sensors on and off and be able to operate Sebastian using an electronic motor down subsea that powers at a hydraulic pump, which then powers all the arms and all the different thrusters. The video comes up, camera takes the raw image and it compresses it into fiber optic, and also goes up its own dedicated pass because it's so much information. When it gets back up to the top side, it gets broken out and we send it to all the different monitors and also to the live stream for y'all to see.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Look at all that amazing footage that you're able to get. It's the quality of it is amazing. And that's one of the things too, in terms of, technology these days, it's improving so much that we can see so much more. What does anyone else have one last? Do you want to ask a quick question? Do you want to?
Is there any damage on the coral reefs at the ocean bottom?
We see natural damage when we get down there. Sometimes we've noticed some sponges that have been turned upside down, and that can be from a shark that has knocked it over or from unfortunate fishing incidents. But we've also noticed that even though they're upside down, they start growing another cup on the top of it. Even corals that have had some parts that have been cut off, either from us, from the needed sampling that we have to do, will be able to survive and continue to grow. It's more of the climate change issues that we're dealing with that is making the environment that they normally live in not habitable.
Yeah, so Jess, I think the amazing part of this whole thing with Dr. Weiner and the team is we have students literally from all over the world on today. So I know, Jess, you want to, I think we're going to go to the, it's a NOAA Guardian School, NOAA Marine Sanctuaries, which is right behind us, at Ocean Reef Academy, right? So Jess, do you want to introduce the Ocean Reef team and go Ocean Reef students here in Key Largo, Florida? And thank you, Cayman students. All right, from the Caymans. There we go. All right, go Ocean Reef.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us, guys. We have Ocean Reef Academy. We have teacher Kristen McHugh and student Bella Hurst. Go ahead with your question, guys. Very nice to meet you.
What kind of school did you have to go to in order to learn how to pilot the ROV Sebastian?
Ooh, good question. Great question.
Very good question. So there are dedicated schools that you can go to learn how to operate and maintain ROVs. You can also get started at a young age going into some of the programs like MATE. Myself, I joined the Navy after high school, and I did aviation electronics for 8 years. And then when I got out of that industry, I stumbled upon the ROV industry, and I learned everything that I know about the ROVs on the job training, and which is majority of ROV work, because training how to operate each different ROV different. So you're going to have time on the sticks, adjusted to it with people who already know how it's operating.
Awesome. And I think, Carly, you've got someone super special in your wet lab you want to introduce, right? We're going to go down into the boat on the RV Falcor. Go ahead, Carly.
Well, thanks, J-Rod. We've been enjoying the imagery so much. And for those of you who haven't been following, we've seen some incredible things, including a sea snake that was thought to be locally extinct. So you never know what you're going to find on the bottom of the seafloor. But we're moving now to our wet lab. So this is a science lab we have on board Falcor, and we're going to be talking to students just like you. In fact, we're going to talk to one special student. She is a science student, Amy Karmagani, who is an undergraduate at Curtin University. She is finishing up her honors, and she's going to show us a little bit about what happens next. So when Sebastian comes up after doing its dive, it's collected some scientific samples. And what do the scientists do with the samples once they're collected, and why are they important? So we're very excited to have Amy here with us today. Amy, are you in the wet lab yet? Can I see the wet lab yet, but I can't see you. There you are. Excellent. It's so nice to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. So my name is Amy Karmagani. I'm from Curtin University in Perth, Western Australia. So welcome to the wet lab. Now, when Sub Sebastian comes on deck, all of the scientists have a job for getting the samples. We bring them quickly into the lab. We place them in buckets like this that are full of seawater, and then it's our job to, as quickly as possible, process those samples by taking photographs, assigning them a label number, and getting them into the right jars with the correct chemicals so that they're suitable for us to analyze more closely later on back in the Perth labs. We have heaps of different kinds of samples on board. We have really tiny samples, so these are in tubes called cryovials. Now, these are generally for DNA analysis. We also have these medium-sized samples. They're often fixed with chemicals called ethanol or formalin, so they'll preserve our sample really well so that we're able to analyze it later on. But sometimes we have whole samples that don't quite fit in the jars, so we do have to bag them then. This is a nice example of a sea star that was collected earlier today. We do have a team of scientists that collect really cool invertebrates, such as the sea stars, nudibranchs, soft corals, sea cucumbers, and things like that. Now, my particular job on board the RV Falcor is to deal with the hard corals. So when a hard coral is sampled, I bring it to my desk here. The first step that I do is use this fancy machine called a fluorometer. So I hold it to the coral like so, and it'll actually give me a fluorescence reading of the corals. So it's basically telling me how bright the teeny tiny microscopic algae living in the coral is. Secondly, we start subsampling, which is basically breaking the coral up into tinier pieces, which I can do multiple different studies on. So a lot of the time, I have to use the hammer and chisel to do this because the corals can be like rock hard and really hard to break apart. Arguably, the most important subsample I have is of the skeleton. So when looking at a coral underwater, sometimes the same coral species can be different colors, even different shapes, and it's a bit confusing to ID. So the best way to do that is by looking at the really fine structures of the skeleton so that we know which species we're actually dealing with. Next, I have a sample that gets frozen. So when I say frozen, I mean really frozen. Like this goes into a freezer that is negative 112 degrees Fahrenheit. So it gets extremely cold, and I'll do this fancy analysis with it back in the lab called isotope analysis. So I'm seeing how much nitrogen and carbon is in the tissue. Lastly, I have a tissue sample fixed in formalin. So this will allow me to look really closely at those microscopic details in the animal back in the labs.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Okay,
it's so cool to see all these different species that you've had and you've been able to collect. And it's important to note that these samples can be used in many ways to get all kinds of information, from genetic identification to ancient records. And the samples come from these remote, hard-to-get areas. And we sample very minimally just to get the right information that is shared publicly with everyone. And these samples provide a baseline, which will also help us understand what we have in our oceans and how better to protect them. So the work that they're doing on board is really, really important. Jessica, do we have some students that have questions for Amy?
I think we're going to go to Greece now, Jessica.
Yes, we're going to go to Greece.
Oh my God. Just so everybody knows, because Jessica's in the Caymans. Carly woke up about 2:30. She's in Hawaii right now. And thank you so much for the crew on the boat, which is in Australia on the other side of the world. And now we're in Greece with Alex and his kids. Alex, how are you? Why don't you introduce yourself? Go ahead, Jessica, take it away and introduce our friend Alex and his children.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. Everyone from Cayman, say hi to everybody else. Fantastic. So we have, if I pronounce your name incorrectly, I apologize in advance, but it's Alex Mukas.
That's right.
And his children, Iona, Eva, George, Philip, from St. Catherine's School in Athens. Welcome. Ooh. Please introduce yourself and tell us what your question is for the ship.
What makes mesophotic reefs special, and how do they differ from the reefs we're used to seeing by our beaches?
Okay, so mesophotic reefs are quite different to those shallow reefs that we are used to snorkeling and diving on. They are that bit deeper, so they range from about 30 or 40 meters right down to 150 meters. But this also means that there is less light than shallow reefs. If you kind of think about the time of day where the sun is about to set, and it's not quite the dark of night, but it's not daylight either. It's that twilight zone. So mesophotic actually means middle photic, or the mid-light zone. So it's different because a lot of the organisms living on shallow reefs, or they do rely on the sunlight for energy, or there are lots of animals that rely on living or eating organisms that rely on the sunlight for energy. So as we get deeper and the light gets less available, we tend to see different kinds of organisms in this area.
Fantastic. And Amy, I think we have, and thank you so much, Alex, for joining us today from Greece. We're thrilled to see you and that beautiful family of yours. We have a very special pop-in hello and surprise. So I think if Bob Powell is still there, one of the questions that a lot of the students have, and we're working on a marine plastic curriculum right now, Bob is the CEO and founder of Brightmark, which is one of our partners working on the curriculum. He's about to go diving with his family in the Virgin Islands. Bob, thank you for joining us. We wanted to grab him and say hi, and we'll get you introduced to Carly and her team because I think there's some wonderful things that can happen. Go ahead, Bob, say hi, and I think you had a question about plastics for the scientists. Go ahead.
I do, and thank you so much. This is amazing. What a great group. And we're seeing here right now that this is something, this like-minded group, together with us at Brightmark, all of y'all around the globe who are really passionate about our oceans and Earth conservation. So that's what we're about. And I will get to my question in a second. Just so you know where we fit in, we think we're one part of the solution here in terms of the waste, the plastics that we see in the oceans. And so what we do on plastics is we've got this revolutionary process where we can take all plastics, because up until now, all plastics have not been able to be recycled. We take all the plastics and can recycle them in our projects. So we think that our process is really integral to solving the plastic waste issue and doing it globally. So really excited, and thank you for the Harvey Foundation and the Schmidt Ocean Institute. We might actually, at some time before long, be announcing a project in Australia where the Ocean Institute is based. So we're just great to be a participant and help solve some of the problems that we're seeing here with a lot of optimism and enthusiasm. And it's great to see the kids today. So
and
if I
your
can,
technology, Bob, being able to take any plastic, turn it back into any other form of plastic, and also you can turn it into fuel. And if we'll have our team put the video, you have one of the sons of one of your staff members narrates a video about plastics, Carly. That's fantastic. We'll share it in the link below. But I know you had a quick question, and we're going to come back and visit with you again, Bob, with Carly and the team. But go ahead with your question. I know it has to do with plastic. Go ahead.
Well, it does, right? So we got in a dive yesterday, and we saw dolphins, coral, all kinds of amazing fish and species. But there's some other things that we see down there. So I'd love the scientists and maybe even a couple of the kids as well to give their thoughts on, are you seeing plastics as we're out exploring the oceans?
Great question.
Yeah,
Well,
great question. So,
oh, go ahead, Amy, please.
who's that to? So if that question was specific to this area that we're studying, on Ashmore Reef, we are actually quite a long distance from any anthropogenic influences. So we're quite offshore. We haven't actually seen any plastic. We've seen a couple of man-made things like an anchor and some old fishing line. Well, yeah, I guess that's plastic, but not much at all. Although I do know of studies that have found quite significant amounts of plastic and just debris like bottles and cans and things like that right down in the lower mesophotic zones as well. So they definitely are still influenced by all the rubbish.
Wow. And we're going to be doing a lot of work with some great students and teachers building an amazing curriculum, Jess, around this whole plastic discussion. Thank you so much for joining us today, Bob, and enjoy your dive, and happy Earth Day to you and your family. And I know, speaking of this plastic curriculum,
happy Earth Day.
You want to bring in, if Val is there, who is doing incredible work, not only with students, but also training teachers how to use the curriculum. So go ahead, Jess, introduce our next guest. I think she's standing by.
It's such a pleasure to introduce this wonderful woman from Martin County. She is Valerie Gaynor, the coordinator of the Environmental Studies Center. And we've worked together for a good while now. Hi, Val.
Hi, how are you guys? No, I'm super excited to be here. Happy Earth Day to everyone. I'm the coordinator of the Environmental Studies Center in Martin County School District, but I also work with the Harvey Ocean Foundation and do curriculum development, but as well as teacher workshops. And we are getting ready to launch some teacher workshops in the coming year. So we're super excited about that. And now I'd love to introduce my student from Martin County School District, and her name is Catherine Rogers. I've been super lucky to be on this child's journey. She has been awarded so many science awards in our school district, but not only in our school district, she's a Broadcom Masters Award winner. She's also a Make a Difference Scientist Award winner, STEM Fair local, state award winner. And I was super, super excited. This morning she came in and she was like, she comes in with a folder and she's like, I researched everybody that's on this call this morning. She's looked into all of you. So I was super excited. Now I would love to introduce her to you. She's a 7th grader at Anderson Middle School. And here is Catherine Rogers with her question for you guys.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi. My question is, why are you studying these deeper reefs and why are they important?
Great question.
Okay, hi, Catherine. So the reason we're studying these deeper reefs, well, the shallow reefs have been really well studied by scientists to date, whereas the mesophotic reefs on ecosystems are a lot less studied and there's a lot more unknowns about them. We're not quite sure of the scope of the animals living in these areas. And we also don't fully understand how animals such as corals are able to live and function in this twilight zone. Now, this is important because it's always really important to build on information where there is unknown knowledge. And basically, from a conservation perspective, I mean, how can we conserve what we don't know? So it's amazing, though, that technology keeps improving and it's getting easier for us to access these ecosystems. So hopefully a lot more research will be carried out.
Awesome. So Jess, I think now we're going to move to another great educator and student in Bay County, and we're working with them. Thank you so much, Val and Catherine. So I think we're going to move to Bay County now, Jess, if you want to introduce Aaron, our little rock star there. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. So without further ado, in Bay County, we have Miss Erin Brack. She's an elementary science staff training specialist and Callaway Elementary School. She's got a 5th grader and Angela Hutchinson and students. Oh, sorry, 5th grade teacher. Sorry, Angela Hutchinson and students, and Karina Johnson, Chance Eanes, and Julian Green. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, everyone say hi. What's your question for these guys?
Good morning. Here's Julian with our question.
My question is, what do you do with the information you collect and why is it important?
Okay, so hi everyone. So the information that we collect on board, or the samples should I say, are analysed for many months back in the Perth labs. And the conclusive information that we get from those, there's a few things that we do with it. So firstly, it builds onto the existing knowledge database of mesophotic coral ecosystems. It can also give us a really good idea as to what areas need to be studied next or what future research we need to conduct. And really importantly, it also helps to protect and conserve these areas. So where we are right now in Ashmore Reef, it is a marine protected park. So we can give this information to Marine Parks Australia, who are responsible for managing and conserving this. And so they can use that information to better their processes.
Very cool. So it just keeps getting better. Thank you, Aaron, so much. So I think we're going to move to Miami now. And this is an old friend of mine, Principal Welker. Matt Welker is with MAST at FIU, and he's a dear friend, Jess. He is a true hero in marine science education, passionate about science. So go ahead and introduce the MAST folks today. MAST at FIU.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. We have marine science teacher Martin Rock and students Karen and Wayne Braga. Hi. For Patty,
how you doing?
To say that you're an inspiration is a huge deal. So it's such a pleasure to meet you, and thank you for joining us today.
Likewise. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. And the Guy Harvey Foundation, it's such an inspiration. Sometimes we think that we're kind of preaching to the choir, on some of these live streams, but I just want to, thank all the students, all the young people out there to take on this torch for ocean conservation and the passion that we all have about the plight of our oceans. We're here in FIU in the Biscayne Bay campus on beautiful Biscayne Bay. And I have some good news to announce. If you guys aren't familiar, we're having a major issue with seagrass die-off in the northern Biscayne Bay, and Dade County just announced a kind of prohibition on fertilizer use from the rainy season. So we all know that connection between, a vibrant mangrove, seagrass, and coral reef, how they're all connected. So this is really good news for the world with coral reef protection. I have two students today. Yeah.
Congratulations, guys. That's huge. That's huge.
Great.
Very important.
And the two students I have, they should be somewhere here. Kareem Durgal and Melanie Brog are two of my great students. They're seniors. My AP Environmental Science and Marine Science students here, they're really involved in environmental issues. And I think they have a couple of questions to ask you. And once again, thank you so much.
No, our pleasure. Thanks. Great to meet you
Yeah,
guys.
we're isolated over here, so we're all in separate.
That's okay.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for this amazing opportunity. So the question I wanted to ask was, how did like, what is your role on the ship, and what path did you take to land like such a great position?
Okay, hi. So my role on the ship is to carry out a study that I'll actually be doing for the entire year, and it's on the ecophysiology of hard corals. So by ecophysiology, basically, I just want to understand how the hard corals are feeding in the low light environments, how fast they're growing, details about their reproduction, and sort of how their morphology or shape can differ from the same sort of conspecifics or species that occur in the shallow waters. Yeah, it is a really, really cool experience. I am very lucky. In saying that, I'm also really passionate and dedicated, and I feel like that has definitely been something that's allowed me to be a part of such amazing experiences like this. Believe it or not, I was actually quite scared of the open ocean some time ago, and to combat that fear, I started diving really regularly about 7 years ago, and I was traveling the world, and just being able to get out there and see what amazing ecosystems there are in the world, especially the bright and vibrant underwater world, it made me really passionate to want to study them and definitely to protect and conserve those for the future as well.
Fantastic. Good answer. Great question and great answer. So we have, I think, another student too. Or J-Rod, do you want to just, because you're operating the ROV, but maybe do you have another role, or is that specifically what you're doing all the time? Because I think the question was probably for both of you.
I mean, my role out here, of course, is one of the ROV pilots, but I sometimes feel as though all the crew on the Falcor, we have such a big role with working with the scientists and being able to help them out, adapting to this environment and helping them do their science and making the transition going from their labs at home to being able to come into an environment like this and being able to after 2 days of learning where it's all at, to be able to get science going and make the best use of time on the vessel.
Fantastic. Jess, I think we have another amazing student wants to ask a question. You want to introduce our second math student so she can go ahead?
Yeah, Melanie.
Melina, is that correct?
It's Melanie.
Sorry, my bad.
It's fine. So my question is what is the biggest lesson that you have learned about the ocean from doing research around the world?
Good question.
Okay, yeah, that's a good yet sort of tricky question. I guess the biggest lesson that I've learned is that the whole ecosystem is so intricately connected. You can never just focus your attention on one particular thing. One thing affects another, and to really have a good understanding and be better at research, you really need to adopt this holistic perspective and be looking at every single sort of part of the ocean or whatever ecosystem you're looking at. So yeah, never be too narrow-minded, and yeah, always be open to studying on a broader scale.
Yeah, and to follow up on that, I've gotten to travel the world and seen many different oceans, and having different scientists come on board, it's easy to get tunnel viewed, and sometimes they're zoomed in looking at one of these beautiful corals as it is, and they're studying it, and just right off to the side is something we've never seen before. And just being able to see the commonality between Costa Rica and Australia, and then also the differences and just how little we actually know about these oceans is just amazing. And it's just breathtaking down there all the time. Like the amount of views that we get to see, it's a privilege.
So many great questions. So Parley, in terms of the foundation, and I think, Jess, that was a plopping. We had the Caymans, and we were going from St. Thomas and the Keys, and how cool to have everybody. Thanks to your team, Carly, Dr. Weiner, so much for all you guys are doing to bring this incredible adventure to kids everywhere. So tell everybody a little bit about the foundation and how it started and the passions of Mr. and Mrs. Schmidt and what they're doing to really make a remarkable difference in the oceans, because I think it's important that everyone knows your story.
Thanks, Pachi. I appreciate that. And I just want to say an extra special thank you to J-Rod and Amy for joining us today. It's so great to be able to connect to the ship. Our founders, Eric and Wendy Schmidt, started Schmidt Ocean Institute in 2009, and we've been sailing our research vessel Falkor year-round since 2013. And what's really amazing is we have no home base. And so the ship travels all around the world doing cutting-edge science and testing new technologies to be able to understand our oceans more. And this is really important, as J-Rod said, is we still don't know a lot about the ocean, especially the deep ocean. And every time we conduct an expedition, we're learning new things that help us understand more about our ocean world. And we are really excited about the work we've done in Australia over the past year and the work that we continue to do moving forward in the future. Like I said, Falkor has no home port, so we are finishing up this expedition in the next week and then heading over to the United States, where we're going to be doing an expedition going to the Phoenix Islands protected area. And so people can learn a lot more about what we're doing at schmidtocean.org. And in fact, if you're interested in seeing some of the dives on Ashmore Reef and learning more about what's happening on board now, we'll be doing some live diving later today as well as tomorrow this week. And so you can see that on our YouTube page or live streamed on our Facebook page as well.
Awesome. So the ticker, for those of you who want to follow Dr. Weiner and her team on the Falkor, please go to their website. And actually, if you look through their social media, they have these adventures all the time that are live. And Jessica, we just want to thank you. We're so proud to be part of your team. And Dr. Harvey, you guys inspire us every day. And it's people like Dr. Harvey and you, Jess, that really are making the difference with your incredible students out there every day asking great questions and pushing the needle about how we can find solutions. And it's guys and heroes like Jan. This is a pioneer of saturation diving at the Cousteau level. And when we talk about the stuff you're doing, Dr. Weiner, deep, 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 how deep do you actually, what's the deepest that the ROV can go? The very deep.
4,500 meters. So we can explore a lot of the ocean.
So that's a lot of good science. So on behalf of all of us at the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation, we're so, so grateful, Dr. Weiner, to you and Mr. and Mrs. Schmidt and your amazing organization, Go Schmidt Ocean Institute, for our ongoing collaboration. And this is the beginning of potentially a couple of years of the adventure. So we welcome you all to join us. Jessica, thank you so much for all you're doing to bring it to us from the Caymans with your amazing students. Please thank your daddy when he gets off the boat. Go, Dr. Harvey.
I will. And I just wanted to echo what Dr. Weiner said. You know, thank you guys, Amy and team, to be able to broadcast all the way from Australia and make the effort. I know it's quite a feat to be able to do that. We are so honored to be a part of it. Dr. Weiner, thank you so much again. And to you, Pachi and Ian, and Jan, it's just amazing to be a part of. We're doing our part. We're learning something every day. We have amazing kids who understand the importance, and we live in the most amazing location to be able to learn more about our oceans. So all of this for us is really great to be able to know that we're working together towards a mission of a sustainable future, and we're learning so much every day. And you guys have inspired me, you've inspired these kids. So thank you so, so much. It's such a pleasure. And I can't wait for the next adventure that we're going to do together. And Dad would be saying the same thing. It would just be a little bit more windswept from the boat.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Carly, I know your part. Go ahead.
Do we have time for one more question? Jack has one. He's a budding marine scientist, so we have one more quick question. Go for it.
Have you seen a change in the oceans since the start of lockdown with less human activity?
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
Okay, I'll take this one. So since the start of lockdown, I guess haven't been probably diving enough to see a change, especially in Western Australia. We have it quite good with our ecosystems here. I can relay some information though. I have some friends in Indonesia who work on building coral reefs, and they are in an area that is really sort of felt that destruction from tourism and a lot of boats visiting the reefs. And I do have good word that during isolation and COVID, since they have sort of stopped all the tourists coming through and a lot of the scuba diving and activity on those coral reefs, there has definitely been some great improvements in those reefs and those coral reefs that they are also, they're also regenerating those reefs as well. So it may be promising for certain areas around the world to have a little break for a while.
For sure. We've been seeing the same thing here in Cayman. So it's interesting. We've been following it obviously from around the world. So that's great news that other places are experiencing the same thing. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are the best. And we look for, and good luck, safe travels on your next adventure to the States. We'll be following all the links to find out what's happening. Everybody say bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Continue. Thank you, everybody, and happy Earth Day. Blessings to you all.
Happy Earth Day! Happy Earth Day, everyone.
Bye-bye.